where this animosity between Greg and Sebas even came from.
There was this animosity from Greg towards Sebas, not between. Because I don't share that animosity. I love it. I love and respect.
That is...
And cherish.
All right, so we've thrown around the idea, just because it'd be ironic. Woody Show Book Club.
Yes.
You know? Today for Woody Show Book Club, I'm going to start with a question. And this is something I'm sure keeps Sebas up at night.
What at it?
Do you feel like your coworkers respect you?
Does it? Ooh, that's a good question. I would say yes.
I don't think it keeps them up at night. That was I don't think you really think about it one way or the other.
No.
I think you are respected.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, no, I think you are. I think you
so.
are. Especially your work ethic, your, creativity.
I don't know.
For sure.
Yeah.
I don't see why they would.
Socially, a little strange. But I mean, he
Slightly.
can turn it on. He can be lovely at times.
Yeah. Thank you. Charming.
Charming. Oh, by the way, we got a couple notifications about this from a couple people, but I guess Howard Stern was mentioning Cartnarks.
Yeah, this is actually, we just brought this up
on the show yesterday.
Recently.
I guess.
They did an interview with me, or a pre-interview back during Super Bowl week.
Oh, right.
And the guy said, I don't know if this is ever going to air or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I guess they had time, and they did like a package. So they didn't, I wasn't live on the air, but I don't know.
Right.
And I haven't heard the segment yet either, because I got a couple.
I guess it just aired yesterday.
Nice.
And it's like just replaying this week. So
Nice.
yeah,
Check it
Cartnar's
out.
getting a little shine. After, it was one of the moments in shock jockery. So was that a return of the favor, I guess?
Payback,
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, they were waiting.
Anyway, you want to earn your coworkers' respect, and if that's the case, some things that you need to do according to this, quote, leadership expert. He's got a book, Woody Show Book Club. It's called The Mentally Strong Leader. And he says that whether you're the boss or you're an entry-level employee, there are 3 categories of things that you need to do to gain people's respect at work. And let's see how well we all do with these things.
Okay.
All right.
Number 1, give. Be generous with your time and knowledge. Praise other people's efforts. Take time to offer good feedback. And give other people your respect.
Yeah, sounds...
I think pretty much
good.
we actually do that.
Easy.
All joking aside, I think we are pretty good at that.
Well,
I agree.
And it's like, I don't understand people who withhold compliments. Like, if something's good, like, you want to let somebody know, it creates a good vibe.
Well, you
they
don't
know
want
they're
their
on
head to
track.
get too big, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
exactly.
true.
Yeah, right.
But it's like something's funny. I mean, I always want to let somebody know.
Next one is resist. Resist the temptation to gossip about coworkers.
Greg.
We failed that.
I love that narrative that
Don't
you've
get
created.
roped
You
into being-
gossip more than anybody.
Don't get roped into being negative
Who are
and
we talking-
resist
who are you
taking
directing
credit.
that to?
Sebas.
Uh-oh.
Greg, don't
Here we
get roped
go.
into being negative.
We can discuss this in a second. Let me just get through the tip. Just the tip.
Greg's
just the
Just
tip.
Greg's
the
ignoring the
tip.
tip as you're giving it.
And
yeah, I'm
resist
ignoring it.
taking credit for stuff even when it's deserved. Be modest instead, Sebas, and talk about how it was a group effort. They'll still know you deserve the credit, but they'll respect you for resisting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A little more modesty.
I don't know if I believe that.
Oh, well, Sebas' original game code.
I don't know if they know that you don't necessarily always get the recognition, because
No.
some people will they'll try to sweep it under the team, like, oh, we as a team we created this. Like, no, you didn't.
No.
No.
Like, for example, it sounds like you have something specific in mind.
No. I'm just saying, like, for this, not for this show necessarily, but in
okay.
general, a manager will kind of like try to make everyone feel good and say, oh, look, as a team, we.
I
blah,
get what
blah,
you're saying.
blah.
Yeah.
And then the hanger-ons get credit.
Exactly,
Yeah,
for what
true.
they didn't do.
Because, Greg has always claimed responsibility and credit for Cartnarks.
It's not a claim.
No.
It's just what it is.
The name Cartnarks did not come from Greg. That actually came from a text.
It didn't come from the show at all.
Yeah, that came from a text. I forget what cart police or whatever we called it originally.
Shaming
Cart shaming.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, but see, that's the thing is
I think actually the way I remember it is more of a collective thing, because we were talking about Greg's pet peeve about people not returning their carts. And then we were in the office. No, that was a thing on the air.
Woody has a very bad memory.
You love to revise
Do I?
history.
Yeah, like the House Your Pie thing you had wrong for years.
Right.
You just kind of made up, like, see, Woody will go with the not that he's lying.
Yeah.
He just goes with like the easiest thing that he can remember and makes sense to him.
Right, and then it just sticks.
Right, exactly.
Like,
and then he
that's-
repeats it again, and that's
right,
that's
and then
that's
it
the
just
history.
becomes fact.
Right, which is
'Cause
not. This is not a slam. It's just
No, because I here's the way I remember it. I remember. I was telling you, like, you guys can fill in the gaps or whatever, or correct the information. But we were talking about things like that, that just are annoying people, annoying things. And one of the things, the cart thing came up, Greg, was on the air. It was a pet peeve kind of thing talking about that. And then I do remember being in the office, and Sebas was at this time, he's always down for a project, as we know.
I'm always still down for a project.
Right. And so it was one of those things that somebody just kind of threw out in one of those collective conversations in the office about, dude, go out to the grocery store for 5 minutes and you'll find somebody. And he tried it. And the first one and the second one that you did was super explosive.
Mega explosive.
And then I said we should call it Cartnar.
But see, that's the thing is,
what was it? Give me the.
I think that's closer to the reality. I don't think it was on the air though that we started. I think it was off the air.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point, to Greg's point, again, I appreciate that he shares the passion that I do. But that's not what I tell people when they ask me about it and how do you get this off the ground? It's you got to go out and do the thing.
Right.
Making the observation is one thing. That's
the follow through,
but seeing it through.
But literally, Charles Schultz in 1991 in a Peanuts comic that I have printed out here in the office made a point that Snoopy was mad at Woodstock for not returning a shopping cart. He just left it against a tree. So the observation isn't unique to us or to Greg or anybody else.
No, it's definitely not.
It's what to do with it.
It's the execution, yes.
What to do with it. Then the final tip, Woody Show Book Club today. Again, this is a guy. He's a leadership expert. The book is called The Mentally Strong Leader. These 3 categories of things that you need to do to gain your coworkers' respect: give and be generous with your time and knowledge, resist the temptation to gossip about coworkers or take credit for stuff even when it's deserved. Number 3 is exude, meaning exude professionalism, which includes not being late to stuff, being open, honest, and transparent, exuding confidence, collaboration, be accountable for your own mistakes, be authentic. When people know they're getting the real you, they respect you for it.
Sure.
These all seem kind of obvious.
Of course.
Yeah.
All this stuff.
This guy wrote a book about this?
This is a book, guys. Woody Show Book Club.
So you want to be a good worker and be on time.
Yeah. Now, you might wonder if we have a theory about this, where this animosity between Greg and Sebas even came from.
Where did it start?
Well,
Genesis.
And let's talk about that. Let's be specific. There was this animosity from Greg towards Sebas, not between. Because I don't share that animosity. I love it. I love and respect.
That is...
and cherish.
Oh, right. That is so...
This is the animosity from Greg to Sebas.
All right. Now,
Greg's projecting.
Okay, is it possible that Sebas started teasing Greg because Greg made out with one of his girlfriends one time?
Oh,
What?
that could be it.
I was honestly not even aware that happened.
Really?
What?
I thought you knew about that.
But like the same way you would make out with whoever, Julianne or
Yeah, pretty much. I
Oh,
mean,
that would-
obviously, we weren't going at it.
Yeah,
Right.
Number one,
Because, yucky girls.
Number one didn't know. Number 2 don't care.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
So
interesting.
that's
That
a
Don't know.
Because that was one of the theories floated at one point. Is that the
like,
reason there was this
he
maybe
must-
animosity towards Gregor?
Because he was risen up your lady.
Yeah, do you even know what lady?
He was tonguing your lady.
Oh.
Yeah, it was just tongue ramming
Yeah.
her.
yeah, but it's impossible for me because I honestly didn't even know.
Interesting. It doesn't freak you out?
Again, Gina hasn't seen it yet, but Greg used to be very promiscuous.
I have tried to get Gregged on 5 different
It will
trips, and
never
so
happen.
far nothing.
Yeah, so far, no Gregging of Gina has
Those
happened.
days are
He may have aged out of it.
Sammy, did you ever get Gregged?
No.
No?
I would
Okay.
never.
I think we just need to get him drunk enough.
That's not to say you
Yeah.
would never.
Oh, I would never. Those
Yeah.
days are over. I know, even in a blackout drunkenness.
Yeah.
I
So
won't
how-
do it.
Boo.
One thing I don't know, Greg, is how did you end up making out with Sebas's girlfriend?
Yeah, how's that happen?
Like, how did that happen?
I mean, it involved booze.
Of course, and a hot tub, maybe.
Party probably, right?
It was at a wine bar.
Oh.
And I think we were drunk-ish. Not drunk, but drunk-ish.
Was Sebas there?
No.
At a wine bar?
No.
I go to a wine bar.
It's a wine bar, and it was myself, Mario, and then, speaking of which, Julianne and Sebas's ex.
Why was she there?
She was friendly with Julianne.
became friends with Julianne.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then we thought it
okay.
would be fun if if the 4 of us made out.
You know what'd be fun?
So, and I,
I mean, that's what happens when Julianne's around.
yeah, and I said to Julianne, I'm like, well, I basically have made out with Julianne, so that wouldn't be exciting. So I said, but what would
And
be
you've made out with Mario 100,000
right?
times.
And then I thought, well, what would be exciting if
You know what'd be fun?
would be to make out with her instead. And then Mario, you can make out with Julianne since you've never Gregged her or made out with her.
Wow.
So we just did that. We just all stood up
In
Sounds
public.
like kind of like a key
in
party,
public
just an
Yeah.
orgy.
and just started kissing, and then we took pictures
in a
of
wine
it, and
bar.
we thought it was kind of fun and exciting. It was very weird.
What
it was
did
an
you do with the
outdoor
pictures?
setting, by the way.
Did you like send one to Sebas? Or?
No.
No, because they didn't know
But-
about it.
Did you post them or anything?
Yeah. were they
Maybe
public?
I would have to go.
I doubt
through.
I'm
Oh,
not.
that would have been funny. Like, oh, hey, check it out. Here's a picture of me making out with Seabass's girlfriend.
That's a good question. Am I even Facebook friends with Greg? Let's see. I think I might be.
Facebook, we are.
Nice.
Or would Julianne have posted them?
Maybe.
Probably.
Probably Julianne.
Yeah, maybe.
Again,
I'm
even
gonna-
if
I'm
I
gonna
did know
scroll
about it,
through
it's,
and look.
again, it's
That wouldn't have been a thing?
no, because again, Greg does that with everybody,
Yeah.
and it's not like his thing came out.
Yeah, it's not like his thing came
Yeah,
out.
I mean, it
don't
wouldn't
say
go
this-
beyond
I don't
that.
say this to be disrespectful in the way you're thinking, but like if we talked about this before, like if girls make out with other girls at a party, no one cares.
Yeah.
Not that
Yeah.
Greg's a girl,
But legally, it's
but
the same
threat
thing.
level girl.
Threat level girl.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
exactly.
makes sense.
No, 100%.
Which is
true.
how some bisexual quote unquote guys snake their way in past
Yeah.
the boyfriend.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
true.
But I don't believe Greg would be that
True.
kind of
No.
All right, well, there goes that theory, guys.
Okay.
I got to
Alright.
find this photo.
That's the first I've heard of that theory.
Yeah. 877-44-WOODY. Hit us up with a text over to 22987. More Woody shows next. Hang on.
The Woody Show returns in a second.